Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is William H. Thompson, CPA, MBA, and I am the founder of RE Accounting and Tax Professionals. We help real estate investors maximize return on investment through expert tax strategies, while at the same time helping them to build and sustain a legacy. Welcome to Free Information Friday. Today I'm going to discuss a metric in evaluating real estate: cash on cash. And in particular, I'm going to discuss cash on cash as it relates to a fix and flip property. So here we go. There are two cash on cash metrics that you can use when evaluating a flip. The first one is your actual cash on cash. An example of that would be, let's say that you purchased a home, fixed it up, and you had holding costs that totaled $300,000. But you were able to use hard money financing, which allowed you to borrow 90% of the loan. So 90% of the loan, the $300,000, is $270,000. So in actuality, you came out of your pocket with $30,000. And let's assume that your return on that investment was $10,000. So your actual cash on cash return is 33.33%. And that's taking the $10,000 that you're profited divided by your $30,000 out of pocket cash. That's not a bad return. However, that cash on cash is extremely, and can be extremely misleading. And here's why. When you're evaluating a flip project, you actually need to do it on the total project cost. Here's why. Let's take that same example that you purchased a house, rehabbed it, and you've had some holding costs that total $300,000. So your total project cost is $300,000. Let's assume that you made that on that property. Let's assume that you made that same $10,000. Now let's see what your actual cash on cash is for the total project. You take your $10,000 and you divide it by $300,000, which is your total cost on the project. That's a 3.3% return on your money. That is horrible. And I'll tell you why. Because your rate equals your risk. I want you to understand that. Rate equals risk. The lower the rate, the more risk you assume. And what I mean by that is, let's take that same $300,000 project. And now all of a sudden you're going to come up with overruns on your rehab. And let's say that your rehab costs go up maybe $5,000-$6,000 more than you expected. That even reduces that rate even more. Now let's assume that you can't sell the property for what you want. You're going to take another hit there. So the most important thing is, I don't want new flippers or new would-be flippers to use strictly the cash on cash. It's very misleading. It doesn't give you any room for any error in the part of going the price for the sale price nor the rehab cost. Again, the cash on cash actual was 33.3%. That could mislead you to take that project on. I want all investors to make sure that they're utilized for flips. I want all investors to make sure that they're utilizing the project cash on cash. Now, I hope this segment of Free Information Friday was helpful to you. And if you're a real estate investor who wants to maximize return on investment through expert tax strategies, while at the same time helping to build and sustain your legacy, book a call with our firm. And remember, only you can create your empire, but we are here to help every step of the way. Thank you, and I wish you much success on your real estate journey.